What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we're locked in. This is the recap for episode 6 of Raising Kanan, and I get this episode of 9. Unique is back. Kanan, he hurt, but we found out that Jukebox got his back at all times, and she's really standing on business. Marvin continuing to mess up, but hey, that's Marvin. We aren't really expecting much. And Rock, she's right there on the cusp of making it big time. But before we jump into this and we break down episode 6, if you like power content, recaps, theories, predictions, then hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button. We on that road to 75,000 subscribers. So hey, send this to somebody that like power. But let's jump into it. This is the recap for episode 6 of Raising Kanan. Our own emotions about what happened to Famous. We see Kanan first, and we know he's suffering the most. This is his brother. This is his right-hand man. And to see him gone like this and we don't know why, of course, Kanan's number one priority this whole episode is to try to get that revenge for Famous. And everyone can tell by Kanan's face and him not talking, yeah, he's really about that. I thought you weren't in the game no more. Man, for Fame, I get back in there. As I said, everyone has their own emotions toward Famous, but the whole family loved him. Lou, he looked at him like as a nephew too. Also, they had their music, but you heard what he said. They had their little spat. But that was just over music and business. We got to make this money. But for Lou to feel like he wants to get back in the game and do whatever he can to get this revenge, that just lets you know he's grateful for everything that Famous helped him out with also. The music, the songs. So Rock is like, damn, I wouldn't have ever expected Lou to get back in the game. Jukebox is asking Kanan, has she heard anything about Famous? And if you do go do some sliding, go get some get back, seek revenge, Juke told Kanan to let her know. Kanan's looking at her the same way that Rock was looking at Lou. What do you mean, let you know if I'm gonna go get some get back? When have you been into doing all of this? She's like, ever since they put Fame down, she a little bit different. But we know she's numb to this. Crystal doesn't want to hear anything that they got going on with catching bodies, so she leaves. Rock comes over and she also tells Jukebox, hey, look out for your cousin. Because Kanan walks off. He not trying to hear nothing. He want to go get the people that got Famous. That's what they call get back. Unique goes to meet with Phil Russo. He said he got his plays together. He got a new connect. All he needs is the money and the muscle. We can do everything else. So Phil Russo's looking at him thinking, now why would I give you the money and the muscle? It's like I'm providing everything. And how am I even going to be profitable from this? So what Unique proposes to him, you give me the money and the muscle. I got to connect. I'll move it all. What's going to be profitable for you is all the money I bring back. You always going to get your cut. It's probably going to be like 20%, 30% maybe. Unique, it seemed like a cool dude, so maybe 25%. We'll just meet halfway, you know what I mean? But Phil Russo, he's like, all right. And he keeps making Unique mad, saying that Rocket's his girlfriend. So Unique like, I ain't say that. But he gives him this guy Arkbar's number in New Jersey to go link with. We all knew something was up with David. We all knew that David was on something. Well, David is on a little something about party time. He's in here coked up. Marvin and Rock show up to handle business. The dope ain't being moved. She talking to Stefano. I got this play, Stefano. I got to make it happen. David's in here talking about we gonna hold a little mixer so we can get to know about Marvin. Rock, we need to know a little bit about you. He talking about painting the walls. Marvin go over there and snatch him up. David talking about, dang, I didn't know you was strong, Marvin. Man, this is where Rock needs to tell Marvin to go hard, but not too hard. But basically they telling David, move the dope and we'll have a party. Rock is upset with Marvin because he's the one that knocked off Terry. Now he's trying to explain that nah, Terry was gonna tell. She said no, he wasn't. Get it right. Make sure that David runs this business. Jukebox over here pouring up some Cheerios. She got whole milk though, but she's pouring up the Cheerios, add a little bit of sugar, some fresh OJ. And when she's at the table, she sees a little picture of Famous. And what does it do? It makes her feel empty on the inside. So she gets up, didn't even get a bite of Cheerios, goes over to the couch, lifts up the cushion, and she picks up Marvin's gun and puts it on the table. She's looking at that, and you and I are both wondering, Juke, what you about to do with that? Besides make us upset, sad. Kanan goes to his self-storage, box full of money, brings in a backpack full of money, Throw it in there. It looked like Kanan sitting on 250, 300,000, maybe even almost a half a ticket. I'm not for sure, but it's a lot of money. The only downside is once he locks this up and he goes outside, we see someone sitting across the street. And at first I'm thinking it's Unique that's telling him. It's OC. He already told Unique that Kanan is scheming money off the top. He just don't know where he's going with it. Now he done fall into the storage locker. Oh my goodness. Come on, OC. Garcia shows up to talk to Olga, Famous's mom. And what he's saying is Famous, he was working with the police. Famous wasn't working with the police. Even Olga says, nah, whoa, my son wasn't working with no police. Then he switched it up. Well, he was under investigation. He did bad stuff because he seen that wasn't going to stick. And Olga knows her son. Even though he may have caught that body, she knows her son. So Garcia is basically saying, man, he's a bad guy. You need to turn him in if you know anything that happened to him because he was investigating a dirty cop. It's all kinds of wild stuff going on. But Olga, she don't want to hear that. She came to the police for help. It was 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. They didn't help. And now Garcia just wants her to give up any information. She's like, get out. Get out now. Hugo sees grandmother. Well, not his grandmother, Kanan's grandmother. But he goes to see his mom, and she's in the bed. Did Marvin tell you what I told him? And Lou's like, nah, Marvin ain't told me nothing, ma. She like, yeah, your brother's a coward. Lou's like, I'm not even here for that, ma. I came here to see you, pay my respects before you up and out of here. She like, I would have asked you, but you too fragile. And your sister too hard. So Joyce is still being Joyce. She really wants somebody to turn her TV off. But Lou's like, I'm not doing that because I'm not worried about how it's going to affect you. I'm worried about how it's going to affect me. And Joyce was thinking, I got 2 soft ass sons. It was only a matter of time before Unique got comfortable enough to show his face. And guess what? He's back. He goes to the tailor. Now the tailor, they got their own little handshake. Remember when he came back from jail? Who hooked him up? The tailor did. So he goes over there getting his measurement, getting all these custom suits, and then you can't be an official gangster if you ain't got no jewelry on. So we go straight over to the jewelry store. What we do? We get 3-4 chains. We want all of those. We want all of the rings. Matter of fact, give me that big pendant there. Give me that pendant there. Yeah, Unique is back, cleaner than ever. Kanan pulls back up on the block. OC's out there with 2 of the other workers. Now he's like, what's going on? OC's like, yeah, man, we hearing that they got Fame, Freddy's crew. They talking about get back. One of the other dudes like, yeah, on the corners, that's what they were saying. I'm thinking, what corners are you on? If you supposed to be working for me, you ain't gonna be on none of their corners. But he's like, yeah, man, that's what they saying on the corner. We're like, damn. So everybody knows it's Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike that did this? They're like, yeah. Kanan said, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those answers. And I'm about to go handle my business. Lou ain't feeling it. He just ain't feeling it. Fame really took that passion away from him. Something died when Famous died. He's listening to Be Realer talk about my tech when I'm at the house. You better duck. Lou was like, oh, brother, not this again. So he tells Be Realer to come out. Be Realer's like, man, I'm trying to feed my family. Lou's like, man, go deeper with the lyrics, man. What is this? Deeper, man. Thoughts. Put it into the flow is cool, but come on, man. Let's do something else. Be Realer's like, nah, man. This is what you came and got me for. What you gonna do about it, Lou? Lou said, you really don't want to see me when I turn up. And Be Realer don't. We can't forget what Lou was. He still got that dog in him, but he walks out. Rock set up the meeting. Stefano, Hazef, we talking about making this money. Now Hazef is like, all right, cool. I understand, Queens, it's a territory war. Stefano said, don't worry about it. I got that under control. We got our blocks, they got their blocks. And the other families, they not gonna worry about it. But if you give us a good price, then we could expand into the other family's territory. Now he's sitting there, he's thinking about it. So Rock gives him a number and says, this is what we looking. And if you can fulfill that, we can get this business started right now before anyone steps in the game. Now he's saying he got to build a manufacturing plant in order to do this 2 or 3 weeks. He wants some money for it. Rock said, that's your problem. All we are is buying the dope, the H. You need to get that together. So we got an agreement, and Rock, she's in the game. Kanan pulls up on Freddy's crew, and he's just watching them, trying to see who it is. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, And he noticed that they be strapped up. One of them had that Thule on. So Kanan ain't gonna make a move by himself, but he got that thing on him too, just in case these fools act a fool. But Kanan, he just doing a little better reconnaissance. He just making sure that the scene is safe. Unique pulls up to Jersey to go and talk to Arkbar. Now, this is the number that he got from Phil Russo, and when he gets here, he's like, damn, I thought you was dead. Unique said, we don't die, we multiply. We just wait around, you know what I'm saying? We wait around and we come back. What are you here for? Unique's like, I need the muscle, you know what I'm saying? Phil Russo sent me over here to get the muscle from you. Now, initially, Arkbar is saying, well, we know we worth, this is our price. He said, don't worry about that. Phil sent me over here because we good. Now, you give me the muscle, I can make it happen. So now, we got the money backing, that financial side, and we got the physical backing with the security from Arkbar's crew. Juke has turned into the Black Rambo. She was out earlier, pow, 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 firing off shots. Remember, she picked up the Thule? Yeah, she got perfect game. I'm talking dead eye. Marvin said, I sat down on the couch. I knew something wasn't right. Where my pistol at? Now, she got it on her for target practice. You know, when she joined the Army, that's how she was. Marvin is starting to be more of a father, and he's basically telling her, listen, I know we've been into some messed up situations, but this is the only life I know. This is the life I live. This is it. This is all Marvin knows. And if somebody smoked his friend like they did Famous, he be going to get some get back. Not knowing that's exactly what Juke is thinking. But he tells her not to be like him. He tells her to run away from any situation that could end bad. But he gets his gun back, and Juke, she walks off. She ain't trying to hear that. Marvin goes and checks on Early Tyler because we got to get our cut. We ain't seen you in a while, and you got big responsibilities. Early Tyler is now the bookie. He's like, man, this ain't what it's supposed to be. We already got to give 20 to 30% of our cut to Stefano. Probably more than that. It's probably like 80% to Stefano. And then he's like, he got to give Marvin a cut, probably like 10%. So he's only getting 10%, but he's doing all the running around. That's the cost of the game. But he says some rich guy owes him 10,000. He looking at Marvin like, yeah, he owes me 10,000, Marvin. Marvin turned around like, who you looking at? That ain't my problem. Go get that money. Early Tyler ain't built like that. He's going to probably have to have Unique go and get that money for him because Early Tyler is not, he ain't capable. Just when we thought things couldn't get worse for Lou, he in the studio and he just ain't feeling it. Well, Jessica stopped by earlier and they did what they do. You know how that goes. She done took off all her jewelry. So Imani comes in and she just trying to see where Lou's head is at. They've been messing around. She showed him the records a couple of times. When she joking around with him, she looks and she sees the earring and the chain. She picks up the chain and sees it says Jess, and she gets mad at Lou. I didn't even know they were dating. I just thought they were messing around. But she looks at him and Lou is like, oh man, no, because he knows Jessica's about to leave. And there ain't nothing worse than losing your main squeeze when your side thing is leaving also. Now you ain't got nothing. Kanan swung by and got Jukebox because he found out where Freddie's crew was at. Now he gets her, she's hyped. They pull up, she's telling him what to do. I'm going through the gate, I'm gonna get their attention, you watch the far side. Juke hit the basketball court, foul, one shot, ball, exploded. She pull up on him, where's Fame at? Who knows about Fame? They like, nah, we ain't got nothing to do. She even pulls the trigger next to somebody's ear, foul. He like, whoa. We heard at the barbershop, we heard that Famous, he knew information about a dirty cop. They like, why would they kill Famous if they trying to arrest him? These boys is scared. Jukebox, she got an evil grin on. She grilling everybody. And then she tells one of them, because the police is coming, if we don't find what you talking about is true, we coming back for your peoples and you. Juke took it to a whole nother level. And she's laughing about it. Kanan's looking at her like, what in the hell? B-Rilla just got belittled by his baby mama. So where does he go? He goes and meets up with this guy, Kenyatta. Now, when he gets in here, the lady at the front, she's like, who are you? He's like, just tell her Rilla is here. Kenyatta comes from the back. It's an Afrocentric library. And B-Rilla starts to tell him about a lick that they can get. Yeah, I'm talking about an easy lick. There's a guy named Lowell, runs his record company, got buku cash, and he's very cheap. Because Kenyatta wanted to know, is this going to be a tough deal, or is it going to be something we could just run up in there and make it happen? Well, they about to set up a plan to go and rob Lowell. We know that this probably ain't going to end well, but B-Rilla got to eat. The last thing we see is Rock pulling up to the crib. Now when Rock gets there, they show that the back door is open, and I'm pretty sure Rock never leaves that back door open. She comes in the house, she puts her jacket down, she puts the purse down, but once she walks into the kitchen, because you know you got to get you something to drink, she turns on the light, and it's like a deer in headlights. When she looks across the room, it's this man Unique eating the butter pecan ice cream on the counter, talking about, Rock, you wasn't lying, girl, this is good. Oh yeah, and I'm home. Man, Rock was shook. Now, what would you do if you seen Unique in your kitchen and you just came home like, whoa, 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 whoa? My first thought is, hey man, put the ice cream down. I don't want any issues. But let me know what you think about Jukebox and her turning on that switch to become full demon mode. And is there any way for Lou to stay out of trouble and just make it through the season without messing up like Marvin? Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. I hope you like these type of recaps. Hit that subscribe button. I'm on that road to 75,000 subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.